I think you know what that sound means.
It's one of my favorite sounds in the world. That's not a good idea.
For you?
Thank you.
All right. Friday.
Friday.
Another week. No broken bones for the kids.
Everyone's alive.
No police coming in.
That's always a good thing.
That's a plus.
I'll take it. Oh, it's kind of cold.
That is good. All right. Well, I need some water. Holy jeez. Welcome to Drunken Parents, our first ever episode. Our brand new podcast where we... Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Where we obviously have a few drinks, talk about relationships, talk about kids,
parenting,
really, life, whatever comes our way.
Yep.
All right. But first, we do need to get to our sponsors, or rather, our non-sponsors. So today's episode is, funny enough, not sponsored by Apple. Because honestly, why pay $1,000 for a computer when you could pay $4,000 for a computer, but have an Apple logo on it? That's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So thanks to Apple.
Thank you, Apple.
Actually, fun fact, their new iPhone, or whatever it's called, iPhone X, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's selling, the lowest base model is, what is it here? $1,320 for the lowest model. $1,300 for a phone.
What the hell?
A phone.
And they wonder why there's so much debt.
Like what, in the world?
Well,
not
that, like
Apple.
consumer.
They're not in debt.
No,
they have all the money.
Consumer debt. People are spending that much on a phone plus
Yeah.
the plans. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I mean, okay, here I am, I got this laptop here. It's kind of like a $2,500 laptop, but I'm dissing Apple. But to be fair, I didn't pay for this. So I wouldn't normally pay for this. So anyways.
It'd be nice if we could get Goldschlager to eventually sponsor. Because I feel like we've single-handedly kept them in business. Who else but us buys Goldschlager?
Everybody does. All the teenage girls do, don't they?
I never drank it. The only first time I drank it was with you in university, right?
Yeah. Well, here's a little bit of context. So usually every Friday night we have date night.
Yeah. We have to have date night. It's a sacred evening. It's sacred.
Yeah, sacred.
Nothing comes in between date night.
It hasn't always been like that.
No.
Right? So this started, at first, I hated drinking together with you.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stand it.
Yep.
You know why?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do we don't want to...
We don't need to go into it right now.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll go into another
time.
So I was at the point where that's it. We're never drinking again. And it was literally like that for years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, whatever, a long time, 5 years. And then whatever happened, I think it was when we moved into our new place, our last old place.
Last house,
It was new at the time we moved. And then it was just let's have a couple drinks, whatever, and make some pizza or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then it just became a thing every Friday night, just Goldschlager and pizza.
Yeah.
And
then it just became a sacred, that's our time. And I think the reason is because we didn't have any family. To get out and watch the kids, and we didn't have any money to go out and pay a sitter.
Sometimes we had a little bit of money.
A little bit. But it just became a sacred thing where we could just have some time and let loose a little bit.
Yeah. And now we just drink. I don't know. It's not good. I don't know. Anyways, drink number 2.
Number 2.
That's the thing is, we're going to have to roll through the drinks pretty quick because we can get to our kind of segment that we want to do in the show, which is kind of like a question and answer kind of show or segment, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And it's funner or more fun to answer those questions. My grammar's already slipping. It's already more fun to answer these questions when you've had a few drinks to just loosen up and maybe answer a little bit more truthfully. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, let me just top us up here.
Oh, jeez, man.
Well, like I said, we gotta go a little bit quick.
All right then. Moving right along.
Okay, so I think... Sorry, that's in front of your cables there.
That's fine.
Okay.
Not my cables, your cables.
Yeah, don't spill on the computer. We'll figure out a new layout here one of these days. I guess we should give a little bit of a context as to kind of our new project and kind of why we're starting this podcast.
Yeah.
And that is our new project together, which is launched right now, actually, by the time you're listening to this,
out, yeah.
it's called The Homeschool Family.
Yeah.
And obviously that's about homeschooling. Now this podcast, Drunken Parents, it's a little bit different, but it ties into that pretty well in terms of, at least, it's us and we're talking about our life and what we're doing.
Yeah. And to be honest, if you're a homeschooler, like, you probably drink because you spend 24/7 with your children. So you need to drink.
On occasion, we're not condoning people to just take drinks all the time.
We're not. Yeah. Like, advertising that you should drink. But maybe you should.
Yes, if you're under 18, no. Jim Jeffries says no. Anyways, we'll watch that skit. That's hilarious. Going back to what we said before, is we don't get out very much because we don't have people to watch the kids.
Obviously.
So we tend to watch lots of movies before it was Blockbuster before, but now it's kind of Netflix. Yeah. But so you'll see us hear us reference a lot of stupid shows. Mm-hmm. So that's just how we do. We just talk movies. But the homeschool family, let's talk a little bit about that, because that's obviously our next big project. Baby. And it's like something that's been part of our lives, obviously, for years now. So how about you take a minute or two here and just maybe start from, not the start, I guess, but why we're homeschooling and what's going on,
Yeah, so we just
I just drink this drink?
Go ahead. So we just started homeschooling,
2 years ago, about pretty much 2 years ago.
This was the start of our second full year of homeschooling. So our kids are grade 6 and grade 4. And the school system sucks, especially if you have a kid with special needs, which we do. And so we just, for the longest time, I was completely against homeschooling. I thought there's no socialization.
Really? Were you against it?
Oh, yeah.
I was always for it.
I know you were. I was always against it because I worried about socialization. I was like, who am I to think that I'm not even trained? How these teachers are trained teachers.
Do you remember the teachers you had in high school?
I know.
And you're worried about you being trained?
Who am I? Who am I to think that I can do a better job than these trained professionals? But then I saw some of the trained professionals, and I'm like, these guys suck. They should not be teachers.
Yeah, they're the people that we went to university with, and you remember those people.
Oh my God.
We met in university, by the way, so we've had university stories too.
Yeah, but and I guess, like, to be clear, our experience at Millen Woods before we moved to Sudbury was awesome.
To be clear,
amazing teachers, amazing educators. I don't want anyone to misconstrue that, because we did have a fantastic experience at our old school. But moving here to Sudbury, the schools suck.
Yeah, some context there. We lived in Waterloo for like 16 years, a long time. Yeah. And then in end of 2015, we moved here
to Sudbury.
And then the kids went to school for like a week, and then we pulled them out of homeschool.
Okay, well, it was 3 weeks, but yeah.
So it's almost 2 years. It's almost 2 full years that we've been homeschooling now.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the context. And so it was tough. The start is tough. But now we love it. It's the best. I wish we had done it sooner.
How soon?
I don't know.
Like, of all time?
I don't know. Like I
never have the kids in school?
I still feel like it was valuable. I wouldn't say I regret anything, because you learn from experience, right? Yeah. And I would never say I wouldn't want them ever to be in school.
Sorry, you wouldn't want them to ever not be in school?
No,
Already, it's hitting already? You haven't even had, how much is this?
This is number 3.
Okay, well, you got to have that one, so I just poured this one.
No, I'm not. No, what I'm saying is that I'm okay with them having been in school.
Yeah, I mean, they'll take that experience with them, I guess, wherever they go. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting that you said that, you wish we would have done it sooner.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Maybe I did. Maybe I'm just not thinking about it right now.
I feel like it's really hard. And I mentioned this in my blog post, is I really feel like it's hard to go out of the box and against the grain. And that's a really scary thing to do. And homeschooling is definitely that. But once you're outside the box, you just really don't give a fuck.
But it's funny that you say that, because I think this is one of the reasons why we work really well together, is because we are opposite in a whole lot of ways.
Oh, yeah.
And when you say, oh, it's hard to go against the grain and hard to go outside the box, I'm all about that. I'm just like, as soon as we could just like find a way to go against what the system says, I'm like, we got to do it, because I hate the system in a sense. Like, I hated school. I hate the structure of school. I'm sure we'll talk more about this, especially on the homeschool family. But the structure of school, I can't stand how they teach. I couldn't stand being part of the system. And I mean, I've been in the education system like for a long time. I mean, I went all the way and I did my master's and just being in school, and the whole all the way through, I'm like, how can this be the best way that we can educate people? There's something wrong with the system.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
So yeah, to get them out of school and to get them in the home, learning how they learn, structuring the courses or structuring the material in a way that they can absorb it the best way, right? Because everyone learns differently, right?
Teaching them what they're interested in. I mean, that's a huge thing. Yeah. The
stuff that I had to read, like for example, English. I hated English with a passion. And
agreed.
Every year was Shakespeare. And no offense to Shakespeare or the people that like him or whatever, but that stuff is shit. I can't stand those stories. They're so bad. Oh yeah, but it's so stupid. Like Romeo and Juliet, like the story, and then the girl he just meets.
Okay. We do not need to rehash this, but the whole reason that you're learning it is it's more of a.
The audience doesn't know
took
what
it
my
as
thoughts
more
are.
Of a history lesson than a literature lesson, I guess. For me, that's what it was about.
Yeah, but they didn't teach Shakespeare in history class. They taught Shakespeare in English class.
Yes, but you learn about the history and about what the rivaling.
That's fine, but I'm talking about story here.
Okay, fair enough.
And the story is awful.
It might be, but you still see you still see it repeated throughout. Like there's modern translations, and it's not necessarily.
There's feuds or whatever. I'm just talking about the two main characters, Romeo and Juliet, and the decisions they make are just not logical. It's like watching a movie and the character.
Teenagers, you don't ever make a good decision when you're a teenager.
I have never met a person for the first time and be like googly-eyed in love. Oh, except for you,
honey. But this is because you're a Vulcan. But this is because you're a Vulcan.
That's it. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay.
We are going to agree that Shakespeare sucks and just leave it at that.
Let's move on. Okay, move on. Moving on.
How did Shakespeare even end up part of this conversation?
Okay, moving on.
I don't know. Anyways, cheers. Oh, that was good. All right. So, anyways, the homeschool family. It's pretty. That's what it's called, right? The homeschool family.
Yes. Sorry. Called. Yes, that's what it's called. Homeschool family.
All right. So
yes.
No, it's pretty exciting because for the past 2 years now, you predominantly have been the person teaching the kids.
Yep.
And I've been kind of off to the sidelines because I work during the day.
Yep.
And I work from home, which is nice. To see kind of how you guys are interacting together and to sometimes come in between the loud talking matches sometimes between the three of you, which happens.
We're passionate people. It happens.
You know, it happens. Not often, but it happens. But the thing is to learn from. Anyway, we're not going to get into that right now. What was my point?
I don't know. Do you have a point?
Yeah, no, my point is that now I know my point. So with this homeschool family is that what I'm really loving about it is that I'm going to be taking a more active role as well into teaching the kids and to helping out, especially in the field of science, so all the sciences, and as well for health and sex education, because that's
and physical education
and phys ed as well too. So you could just maybe call that health. I don't know what you want to call it, but so I'm going to be taking part in teaching that to the kids. So I'm really looking forward to doing that with the kids and with you guys. So and then just kind of documenting that story. And the whole point really is to, just kind of share what we've learned. Share the ups and downs that we've had.
And I feel like there's so many things I wish I knew when we started. And so I think I feel like as much as I can help someone hack homeschooling to make it super easy and super efficient so that you can play as much as possible. Not just with your kids, but in your own life, and not spend your whole time lesson planning. That's important because that would be that was probably the most stressful thing for me at the beginning was the lesson planning because it took up a lot of my time. But then I figured it out eventually, and now it's much more efficient.
Yeah, and we can share that with everyone too.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
Should we do like a get to know you type thing right now?
Yes, that's a good idea. I do have some questions, and I think normally what we're going to like to do is to have kind of a question and answer where people can kind of submit their questions to us.
Yeah, no, but I'm more talking about like me and you to get to know you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So hang on a second.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so people can send us their questions. So if you do have any questions or, if you want advice or whatever, because we're fully trained to offer the advice on
fully trained
any topic that you possibly want to ask us on. So go ahead, shoot us an email at drunkenparents@gmail.com and give us your questions or, things that you need help with.
Comments.
Whatever
What's worked for you? Because I'm always looking for stuff too. What works for you? What's your favorite website? What's your favorite homeschool book? Like, we'll share it.
Whatever it is, we'll share it and then we'll discuss.
Yeah.
So that being said, of course, today is our first episode, so we don't have any questions from you guys because it's our first episode. So I do have some questions for you, and you probably have some questions for me, but
for sure.
Who wants to go first?
You go first.
All right. So we've had 4 shots now.
Yeah.
All right. Starting to kick in a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You might be able to hear it. Anyway, so who's going first?
You.
I already can't remember. I'm asking you first?
You asked me first, yep.
These questions are pretty easy.
Okay.
Nice and chill. Don't worry. It's nice and calm. All right.
Go.
What's your favorite movie?
Oh, that's a hard one. We talked about this the other day. I don't know. So many come to mind. But, I mean, Tarantino, I love Tarantino. And I really love The Hateful Eight. I love The Hateful Eight.
To the point that's your favorite
to the point where
movie?
I think about it a lot. I think about it a lot. That and
why do you thinking about that? I just feel like
no, it's weird. No, I'm the kind of person where I get a movie in my mind and I think about it a lot. And Hateful Eight, I totally do.
Fair enough.
But I also love.
But you've only seen it 2 or 3 times.
I know.
Maybe 2.
I know.
Only.
It's really good. But then I like movies that are romantic, like Princess Bride and Gone with the Wind.
And 50 First Dates.
Classic. Classic. Back at you. What's your favorite movie?
Well, you didn't even answer mine.
I just did.
It's The Hateful Eight.
Well, no. I can't.
I don't know because I don't know what your answer is.
Well, I gave a couple of my favorite. I don't know.
But this was okay.
No, even Dances with Wolves. I don't know. There's so many.
It's okay.
I've been thinking about that one too. I haven't seen it in a long time. I love Costner.
Yeah. What's my favorite movie?
Yeah, your favorite movie. Go.
Pulp Fiction. Next question.
Yeah.
It's not only my favorite movie, it's everyone's favorite movie because it is literally the best piece of art ever put to film.
Okay, moving on.
Period.
Next question.
Yeah, we do move. That's it.
Okay, next question.
Next question. All right, what do we have here? What's your favorite band or music artist?
Taylor Swift. No, I love her, but no.
That's terrible.
Of all time, that if the Beatles. Beatles and No Doubt. I love Gwen Stefani.
No doubt.
I love her.
The Beatles, eh? We've had many conversations about the Beatles and
Smashing Pumpkins
and what I think about them.
And Gwen Stefani, love them.
I could even say
love them hard.
Smashing Pumpkins for me, they have good stuff, but they haven't done enough to solidify any place in you know what I mean? How many albums did they even release? Not very many.
Doesn't matter. The one Melancholy and Infinite Sadness. Melancholy and Infinite Sadness was it for me.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was a double LP.
It defined my high school years.
Yeah, so it has other connotations.
Of course it does, and that's
why that's what music does, right?
Exactly.
It brings you back.
Okay, so what's yours? And I already know, but go. What's yours?
You're just asking me the same questions.
Well, I'm just back at you, right?
Back at you.
Because I know. Well, I know what it is, but anyways, go.
What is it?
Bob Marley.
Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay, band. Yeah, Led Zeppelin, obviously.
Well, no, I said band or musical artist.
Okay.
It's a tie between Led Zeppelin and Bob Marley. Because again, it's the best.
And I do love Led Zeppelin. Love them. And I love Bob Marley too, of course. Love them.
And an honorable mention to the Tea Party.
I was just going to say Tea Party.
Which we haven't seen yet.
I know.
You said
they
we
were
were
in
going
like
to go.
North Bay.
North Bay.
They were North Bay. We didn't
and you're
go.
like, go. I'm like, great. You said you were going to give it to me for like a present. I'm like,
No,
that's
I said
amazing
let's
present.
buy it. I said let's buy it. Let's go. Let's go see it. And then it just never happened. So
yeah. Anyways.
We've never
the
seen
tea party
them.
are like our pokeroo. It's like we
God,
always find out like they played like right by where we were staying.
They are
like
our pokeroo.
the day after. It's
so
insane.
sad.
I was like, oh, did you know that
tea party
was right at the club where the university?
If you ever watch this, please, we love you. Okay.
Wow, that sounded more like a personal message from you.
Kind of was.
All right. Question number 3. Mm-hmm. How would you solve the current global refugee crisis, which is only going to get worse as climate change is going to displace an estimated 50 million people over the next 20 years?
You're seriously asking me this after I've had 4 shots.
All right, you have no answer to important issues. Let's move on to something that you can handle.
Veganism is the only answer.
That is the answer. All right. I said these questions were easy. I thought that's a pretty easy answer. But, whatever. You want to pass, that's fine.
Okay.
Number 4.
Okay.
If you could have any job in the world, regardless of whatever skills or whatever you need to have, just what is the job that you would want?
Well, I have 2, and they're totally unrelated.
To what? It's your favorite, whatever you want.
Okay, number 1 would be I would want to be a CDC researcher and work and research like all like the craziest diseases like Ebola and plague and
not so cool.
All these crazy diseases. And then the second one, completely frivolous and unrelated, but just fun, would be I would want my own bridal store and sell wedding gowns.
Yeah, we came close to actually
to doing that.
When we came close to buying a house that we were going to set up
to do
bridal
that
store.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have worked if we actually think about it now, considering the location. No, it would have.
It would have. But anyways, moving on.
Back. Oh, that house was amazing.
Anyways, moving on.
Anyways, okay, interesting answers. I like those. Those are 2 good, solid answers.
Yep.
Number 5. Melania Trump calls you up because you're good friends or whatever to have coffee. She's asking you for advice. What do you tell her? What's your one sentence of
my
your
one
pearl
sentence?
of wisdom to her?
My pearl of...
She's having a hard time.
Okay.
What's your advice to her?
Girl, leave that 0 and get yourself a hero.
Oh, wow. How much more hero of the President of the United States can you get?
Have you seen?
That's not the point. That's not the point. He's the President of the United States.
I'm sorry.
You can't just divorce the President of the United States.
Have you seen Scandal? Actually, you can.
Well, that's a TV show. We're talking about reality here.
Anyways.
What's a scandal is that they're married in the first place. But hey.
What?
I said what's a scandal is that they're married in the first place.
Well, yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Anyways, that's your advice? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, whatever. It's your advice. That's fine. Number 6. Aside from me, obviously...
Bruce Willis. Kiefer Sutherland.
You just knew what I was going to say by looking at me.
Yeah.
Aside from me, who would you rather sleep with? Okay, Bruce Willis, Kiefer Sutherland. Okay, I see you've given this a lot of thought. All right, moving on.
Okay. Well, back to you. Besides me, who's on your list?
Oh wow, I never
Halle
thought about
Berry.
that. I'd have to think about that, but the person that comes to mind would be Natalie Portman.
Really?
Yeah, I had a thing for her.
She has like really fucked up eyebrows.
I don't notice those things. I had a thing for her when I first saw her on episode 1, Star Wars. I remember you can ask Chris because we were watching episode 1 for the first time. And I'm like, and there's Princess Amidala. It wasn't Princess. It was when she was the other one when she was pretending to be animated.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's so hot. She's so hot. Whatever. And anyways, I don't know. I just always had a thing for her, I guess. I don't know. She just has I don't know. It's just quality.
No, I like her. I think she's a great actress. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know about that. I don't follow that.
Anyways.
But
who would you?
I don't know. I don't think about that now that you put me on the spot.
Who would you have play you in a movie?
Who would I want to play me in a movie?
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence.
Oh, really?
When he was like 30 years ago, Martin Lawrence. Maybe not now.
I was gonna say Will Smith.
Yeah, he's too tall. It's
not about height, or physicality. It's just about.
But see, the thing is, it's funny when you say that because those actors are older than we are. So like, we'd have to think of a new young. I don't know any new up and coming. Or that dude that was. Oh, I don't know what movie he was in. He was in Chronicle. And he was also in that Rocky movie. The guy, I don't know his name.
Where's that one?
It was the old Rocky, the new Rocky movie, I guess, when he was Apollo Creed's son. And he was, remember Chronicle?
Like vaguely.
That was a cool movie.
Yeah, no, I know
it was a Max Landis movie. I love that guy.
But like vaguely. Anyways,
that guy. I totally don't know his name.
I think I would want like.
Let me look it up.
I feel like I'd want like Reese Witherspoon to play me.
I could see that.
I know, right?
In a sense.
Yeah, I could see it too.
I'm looking this guy up. Ask me a question while I'm looking this up.
Okay, so I've just been reading
Michael B. Jordan, that's his name.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't mean anything to you?
Doesn't mean anything to me.
Anyways, that's his name.
No, but I've heard that before. I just can't picture it.
You'll know him when you see him.
Yeah, no, of course. Okay, so I've just been reading Tim Ferriss's Tool of Titans, and so he asks like a lot of like similar questions to his guests. But anyways, so that's why I'm asking these questions because they've just been in my mind. So if you could put something on a billboard that everyone would see, what would you put on a billboard?
And it could be anything.
Anything. What would you put? I think it's such a good question.
Oh, man. It would be something along the lines, I'm not going to phrase this correctly, but it'll be something along the lines of don't listen to what anybody else has to say. Just follow your heart. Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like you have to do what's right for you.
Yep.
Nobody else can tell you what to do.
Fuck the haters.
Do it.
Fuck the haters.
Don't worry about what anybody else says because there's always going to be people that are going to tell you that your idea is shit.
Always going to get
whatever.
static. Yeah.
Always going to be
always.
that.
Yep.
So just go do it. Mm-hmm. That's,
You do you.
Yeah. A little cheese, but yes.
No, I get it.
It's along that lines. That's a good question.
Yeah. I know. I love that question. I love
Interesting question. I said interesting question.
No, it's a good one.
All right. I just have a couple more here for you, okay. I guess.
Yeah.
If you were Prime Minister, of Canada, we live in Canada. What would be the first thing that you'd change?
Oof, I don't know. That's such a big question.
No, just one thing. Just one thing right now that you'd change.
I don't even know.
I'm gonna have to take a hard pass on that question, Alex.
I feel like I do have to take a hard pass on that. That's what I'll have to think about. Yeah, to be continued for sure.
To be continued?
To be continued.
Something about the education system, healthcare.
I don't even think.
Taxes.
I feel like it'd be so much bigger than that. But anyways.
So much bigger?
Yeah.
All right.
Next one.
What would you rather do? Run across the street naked?
Oof.
Or eat live worms?
Run across the street naked.
Really?
100%.
Well, I just so happen to have a street right there.
It's not happening.
You'd rather do that if confronted, like a busy street, like downtown Elm Street, broad daylight.
Yep.
Yeah.
Done.
It's just done. We're going streaking.
All right. Okay. Can I ask you a couple more? Okay. So this is a couple more of Tim Ferriss's questions. They're just so good. If you had to buy someone a book, like what would be a book you would gift someone?
Yeah. To anybody?
Anybody.
Well, it depends on who it is, right? Is it a person that's on their deathbed, or is it a person that's like figuring out themselves?
Just a general good book you would gift someone.
There's two books that come to mind. The first one is Rework. That's by the guys who created 37 Signals or Basecamp now. And it's all about how to work efficiently and how if you're trying to start a company, you don't need all this kind of money. You don't need all these kind of employees, or you don't need to have an office, or you don't have to work by the traditional 9 to 5, all that stuff that, might be common sense to me or you or whatever, but is like hard grained into people. Like, I don't know, they do the opposite, right? Like, we have to be in here at this time, blah, blah, blah. You have to be at the desk. Get the best people for the job, no matter where they are. And don't listen to the just do your own thing. Anyways, that's the book I'll recommend to any budding entrepreneur, somebody who wants to start their own business, someone who's been running a business, anybody who or get better in their career, whatever it is. I think that's a fantastic book to read. And I don't know, on the flip side, a book that I've read a long, long time ago, which I thought was really fantastic, although there's parts of it that I don't agree with now, but it's the book Alive, which is based on... It's based on the book. Yeah. The movie is based on this book, which is the movie of the guy, the rugby team that crashed in the Andes in like 76 or whatever it was, and they had to survive in the Andes for like months, and they had to like actually eat the dead to survive. It was crazy, and they had to climb literally out of the Andes to save themselves. So
you know what's so funny?
Fantastic story. Like, it's such a human perseverance kind of story or whatever.
It's so
right?
funny. It's so funny because ever since I've met you, you have always told me that book is so good, and
you should read it.
Like forever. And I am like a nonfiction junkie. Like, I love nonfiction.
Yeah, you've never read it?
And I've never read it.
But you've seen the movie, right?
Yeah, but I had to close my eyes for a lot of it.
It's not even scary, right?
No,
there's nothing
scary, but I think when I watched it,
you love it now because you love the whole climbing Mount Everest. These guys climb mountains with no food, right?
Into Thin Air is like my favorite.
Every day they had in a sip of wine.
Yeah. Into Thin Air is my most favorite nonfiction book ever. Yeah, love that book. Anyways, I can't think of the other questions I wanted to ask you. You gave me like 4 shots. Shocking.
Is it too much? Is it too much? We have another one here.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Soon.
Oh yeah. But anyways, I can't think of what else I wanted to ask you.
Well, let me ask you this last question I have.
Okay.
And maybe you can think of your question while you're answering this one. What song is playing at your funeral?
Oh, that's a good one. Staying Alive?
I guess so.
No.
Maybe. Probably not, because it's your funeral, but...
that is such a good question. I don't know. I want something like really like fun that people can dance to. What song do I love to dance to that comes on?
What kind of dance?
There's so many.
Real dance or a silly dance?
Many. The song that I love right now, that I'm loving right now, is the one by French Montana, which is Unforgettable.
Oh, cringe.
Unforgettable, which I think at a funeral would be apt, but...
Which one is that?
You don't want me to sing it.
Is it the one that plays all the time on the radio?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. It's on the radio. It's terrible.
No, I know. I can't think. And of course, that's not what I would want, but something more...
And just so you know, that has absolutely nothing to do with answering your question.
No, but something like really like classic. I don't know.
Beethoven's Fifth Symphony?
No, it'd be something more like... I don't know. Hey Jude.
By the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably one of the few Beatles songs that I actually like.
Hey Jude.
I thought you hated that song. I would play it and you're like, shut that shit off. It's like, turn it off. I'm like, Jesus, it's like the one Beatles song that I can tolerate. Why are you telling me to turn it off?
Because I have a very emotional response to that song. That's why.
All right.
Yeah. Hey Jude.
And I'll be dead, so I don't care. Blast it away.
That's the point. Blast that shit.
That's interesting. Interesting. You know what I thought of when I was thinking about that question?
Yeah.
So this is actually really terrible, but it's the song Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. And it takes me back to, remember in high school when you get books from the high school library, and it'd be hilarious because people would like write in speech bubbles into the character.
Oh,
into
yeah,
people.
yeah.
Of
course.
I feel like you don't see that anymore, but anyways.
No, people don't. I know people are like afraid.
People don't vandalize books anymore. Why not? Why don't they do this?
No, but that was like the best thing about high school, right?
Yeah. So
anyways, yeah.
A friend of mine, we're sitting on the bus and he had this book, and this was like a serious book. I don't remember what it was, but it was like either like a World War II Holocaust book or like a slave trade book or something like that.
Oh my God.
So there's this picture. It's this one child looking at you like intense, like amazing, like Pulitzer Prize winning photograph kind of thing.
Was it like one of the pictures that after like the bomb in like Nagasaki or Hiroshima or something like that?
No, because but it was like maybe in the 70s kind of. I don't know. I don't even know when it was because it could have, like I said, could have been a World War II picture. But the point is that there's this kid looking at you, like looking right at the camera, and in the background there's this pile of bodies.
That's fucked up.
It's a huge pile of bodies.
It's fucked up.
Huge pile. Like it's a horrible scene, right? Like, and you're thinking like. The guy looking at the kid or whatever is like, his parents are in there, who knows, whatever.
Jesus.
It's like, hundreds of bodies. And then someone writes the speech bubble on this kid's face. It's like, da-da-da, another one bites the dust. And I was just laughing so much because it's like this huge, terrible tragedy. And I was like, another one bites the dust. And then you just hear, bump, bump, bump. And then like the music's playing.
Oh my God.
And it's just so funny.
It's like the most fucked up thing I've ever heard.
But like whenever I think of like death, I just think of that song and then it makes me happy.
Wow.
So anyways, that's what I thought when I kind of heard that. It was.
No, that's why it's funny.
It was funny. All right, let's pound down this.
Well,
this
that's
here.
like, it's like, did you watch Love Actually with me?
That was with Hugh Grant, and he's like the Prime Minister of Britain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Falls in love with some no-name person.
Yeah, Liam Neeson is in it. His wife
and there's
dies.
a guy who like wrote a music song or something, and he gets royalties. No, that's another Hugh Grant movie. That's a different one.
No, that's the same one. He does anyways. Anyways,
That's the same movie?
Liam Neeson's wife dies, and so they have the funeral, and
Like in real life? Or in the movie?
In the movie, his wife actually did die though. But anyways, in the movie,
That's crazy.
No, it's like very sad that his wife died. But anyways,
another one bites the dust.
No, but the song in Love Actually, the song that plays during her funeral is the Bye Bye Baby song, and it's like you feel like it's like so inappropriate, but it's what she wanted because she had like cancer, and that's what she wanted. Like her living will was like Bye Bye Baby, like, and it was just like.
Is it like a fun song? I don't know that song.
It is. It's a fun song, which you would not expect to hear at a funeral, but it was just same like Another One Bites the Dust. It's like it's just kind of so inappropriate, but so good.
We need to get like these mixing boards or whatever that people on the radio can like play like sound effects or whatever, and just to play them as they go.
Weedy in the butt.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like that Family Guy, where they're doing their Stewie and Brian are doing their stupid radio show.
Oh my God!
And then they cut to that clip. The fact of the matter is, when they fired Andy because he had AIDS, they broke the law. What is wrong with you? He's like, oh my God, I didn't mean to press that. It just like went on for like 30 seconds of playing this clip from Philadelphia. Like, look at their faces. Oh, it's so good.
So bad.
Like we said, we watch a lot of TV and movies because that's what we do. And Family Guy is one of the top ones up there. So we'll probably quote them quite often.
Yeah. We have a problem with binge watching. Actually, I have a problem with binge watching.
I do. It's just like, you're like, oh, maybe should I wait for you to watch the show? You're like, yeah, I'm done. The fifth. I'm like, yeah, let's watch it. I watched all 7 seasons. I'm done. Like, what? Are you kidding me?
There's like stuff he doesn't even know about on Netflix that I've already like watched all of.
Like what?
Well, the Dynasty's the newest one.
Dynasty, like did your soap opera?
Did your parents not watch that?
I think they did. That was the Dallas one.
There was Dynasty, and then there was Dallas.
Dallas, they watched that.
My parents watched Dallas too, but Dynasty also. So Netflix has rebooted it, and they're on season.
Rebooted. It's a soap opera or a TV show.
Well, it's a
soap
TV
operas
show.
Are completely different though. Well, soap operas are on like every day.
Well, this one's once a week, right? And Netflix comes out with a new one on Thursdays.
Oh, so they're releasing as shows, not like actual.
So good.
I hate that though. Like, just release the whole thing.
But it's just like a TV show, right? That's how they do it. Anyways.
Well, we
it's
talked
like
about
really
this
good.
too, because the only thing
good.
that I'm looking forward to is Black Mirror. I love that show.
Oh, Black Mirror and Walking Dead.
And I'm just like, as soon as they release it, the new season, which should be released soon, it's like I'll watch it in like two days, maybe 3.
Oh, it's so good.
And then I'll be done. I'll have to wait another 363 days for them to release new ones. So it kind of sucks like that, but
yeah. Anyways,
I don't know. I don't know. Excuse me. Next time, make sure we have some glasses of water to wash this down, because
make sure you have some glasses of water.
Yep.
My friend.
That's fine.
Anyways.
All right. So, any other questions you'd like to ask me?
I don't think so. Like, I think I'm good. Yeah.
Me too. Time for bed.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Or is it bed?
Indeed.
I think that's it. All right. So, this was fun. I like it.
I like it too.
Are we going to keep doing it?
Had a good time.
Every Friday?
I like it.
All right. We'll keep doing it.
Let's do
it. All
it.
right. So, like we said, if you have any questions you want to ask us, or if you want advice on anything that's troubling in your life,
or like, I mean, any comments,
or comments,
opinions. What do you like? Do you like Dynasty on Netflix? I mean, do you think it's good?
Give us a shout out.
What do you think about homeschooling?
Our email, our email
lame,
is
awesome. Let me know.
Our email is drunkenparents@gmail.com. Send us an email. We look forward to hearing from you. And that's it for us today. I think we're going to sign off, and stay tuned for next week. We'll have a brand new episode where our sponsor is probably not going to be, I should say, root beer. Because quite honestly, it's the drink where they mix sugar with water, but make it taste like ass when it's done. It's disgusting.
It's like the ugly sister of
Isn't
Coke.
It the grossest
it's the
drink ever?
It's the ugly sister of Coke.
It's disgusting.
Or Pepsi,
Coke's
whatever.
Pretty bad too,
Coke
but
you know what I mean? Coke or Pepsi. Coke or Pepsi. It's like the ugly sister who drinks it.
They are definitely not sponsoring us next episode, so that's going to be awesome.
And also, I used to work at A&W, so I know. Their fries are really good, though, with the spice. Get the fries. And the chipotle sauce is really good, too.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess we're going to whisper our way out of this one.
Okay.
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 All right. We'll see you guys next time. That was the worst high five I've ever had in my life. Wow. Okay. You got to do this good. All right, ready? That sounded nice.
Boom.